is there a harder sequel to make than a follow-up to a classic comedy film? Name me 5 genuinely great sequels that are comedies that exceed the original, and I'll be shocked if you can name me more than 5. But why? And it's because of one word: tone. It is so hard to recreate the tone of an original comedy film and that lightning in a bottle. So does Beetlejuice Beetlejuice recapture that lightning in a bottle? No. Is it going to blow you away with its incredibly intricate plot? No. But does it deliver on that original tone? Yeah. By nailing the tone and atmosphere of the first film, it allows the movie to have an insane story that allows your favorite characters to shine in. The film nails what made the first film so special with its fun Looney Tunes direction, great comedy performances from great actors, and a story focused more on individual comedic scenes rather than telling an overall story. And you can't end up writing this off. You can say comedy is a genre that's subjective, but it's also a genre that I think that doesn't succeed on accident. Good comedy and bad comedy has staging, blocking, camera angles, editing, and performances all to take into account, and that vision and central tone of the film, which is binding it all together. And that all falls on the director to keep all the different aspects of the production in line and within the vision. And Tim Burton is back, baby. I don't know what he's been doing for the last 15 years, but he locked in, he's back to his practical-ish roots, and he, once again, makes a really fun comedy film. And the direction of this film and its use of practical costumes, stop-motion like CGI effects, and visual gags creates this insane creativity, which allows these hilarious Looney Tunes-style jokes that feel so unique to Beetlejuice. When this film is in its absurd comedy lane, it's an absolute treat, and Tim Burton feels right back at home with this Pee-wee's Big Adventure style of insane over-the-top comedy. And it's nice to see a Tim Burton film that feels more visually restrained to a more practical and tangible world. He really got caught up with special effects from the 2000s or the 2010s, and it lost some of the tactility to some of his films that made his original films feel so unique and tangible. So I'm glad these huge, bizarre sets are back. And Tim Burton's original directing style isn't the only thing that returns here. The original cast that come back here is doing a great job, and so is the new cast. Willem Dafoe, Jenna Ortega, and Monica Bellucci are all great gets and they fit right in. I just wish they all had a bit to do more. This film is trying to do a lot. It's an hour and 40 minutes with a brand new cast that comes into it, along with the old cast returning, and it's not able to balance all these characters and storylines perfectly. But what it is trying to do is give these characters individual scenes where they're able to show their comedy skills and allow them to shine. And in that sense, it's absolutely great. Everyone here gets their own standout scene where they get to be really funny and make you laugh. And even though that might end up making a film that feels a little bit incoherent and a little bit not cohesive, it ends up making a film that's very funny and once again, stays in that original tone and makes us feel so satisfying. This film is funny. Very funny. Beetlejuice is hilarious once again, Michael Keaton is still absolutely killing it, and even Catherine O'Hara in this film was making me laugh at multiple times. Willem Dafoe's a great get. Jenna Ortega is a great straight woman to play against all of these other characters. Winona Ryder here is still super fun, and there's just so much good direction in this film with great performances that it creates this film that in the moment is just an absolute blast to watch. But if you can't tell, this film is trying to do a lot. It feels like every idea they had for a Beetlejuice sequel from the last 30 years was thrown into this movie. And like most sequels, it doesn't fully quite capture that magic of the first Beetlejuice film. That original film is a lean, tight comedy with an emotional core at its center, and it's near perfect. It's hard to follow it up. Now, Beetlejuice Beetlejuice isn't that. It's not a comedy classic that's going to be held up for years like the first film, but it's really good. It's got a slightly bloated cast, maybe one too many storylines that sometimes get in the way of the crazy comedy, but it's still a fun Beetlejuice movie with fun gags, and he's still wreaking havoc on these poor people that just want to get this pervert demon out of their life. With all of my complaints, I don't really think it matters. This movie is funny and nails the most important thing for a sequel to nail: tone. If you like films like Airplane or even just the first Beetlejuice, that visual and practical humor is here and you'll have a blast. This film keeps the irreverence and violence of the first film and is a fun continuation, even if you won't watch this film for nearly as much time as the first film. But hey, it made me laugh and it was a good time at the movies, and that's all I wanted. Beetlejuice Beetlejuice is way better than I expected, and it's made a huge return at the box office already in its opening weekend. It looks like the juice is loose, and I'm yearning for more of that juice. Wait, did I just say I wanted more of that juice?